Hello children, welcome back to our class. That is our chapter 2, computer memory. We are with our last section, that is data recovery from the different types of memory we have. The question which we had in the last section, that is the last video, was can we recover the data from RAM? Basically the answer should be yes, no, but we have to say some more thing, that is actually there is nothing that should be stored in the motherboard or the RAM that's of any value at all. I mean, basically, when I checked, I haven't seen any such basic tools, any kind of data recovery tools that can recover the things from RAM. So we say we don't have. But of course, in that textbook, there is an option shown us, so we can think about that. That is what they have said. Freeze the chip. See, pop it into another computer and run the command. Linux command means Linux is an operating system. DD, to copy the raw data to disk, that is to another computer, from one computer to another computer. Take your RAM outside and store it into another computer. So that way maybe, but depending upon the failure of your RAM, that can vary. So after we have this raw data, copy that into a new partition, means in the new system you can copy it into a new area, C drive or D drive, using the DD again. DD is for actually copying, that you can do in a Windows operating system also, okay, but of course with the help of your hardware experts or the people who do the service. Until it means like you have to undelete the program which is already there on the partition, and then you have to pull out the files which is there in the recognized format. But this is not recommended. Basically, as I told, we shouldn't be saving anything like that in the RAM. So because we don't have such options for your computer data recovery from your RAM. But the next section, yes, we can take your data from your ROM, but it depends on the type of ROM being used. The other things, hard disk and all those places, the answer is yes. That's because we have a certain softwares. Now one such I know, I don't know many, but I know one. It is called Recover My Files. It is an advanced data recovery system. So you have to install that, and then what you have to do, you have to give options for what you have to do, what you have to recover. So if you are want to recover files, you have to give the option as recover files option. So you people, individuals, might have deleted and emptied from the Windows everything to the recycle bin. Files have been deleted and bypassed to the Windows recycle bin. Files might have been deleted by the virus, Trojan or worm. Then if you give this recover files button, then you will see another option, next to proceed. Then automatically that option, if your data loss problem is related to very small sections, then what happens, this particular file will be recovered using this software. Now that's the same thing going to be discussed, but in a different style over here. If you want to recover a drive means the whole, it's a big data, the whole drive is lost. So instead of recover files, you have to say recover drive. And then the same thing. Okay, no, the drive, if it is formatted, all these options are available in this recover my files options that is actually there in a software. So like that, many will be there. One such which I know because I am using it, also I know it. So here it is depending upon what they have been told, you have to just read through it. I need to take, even though it is not in use, they can, which I showed you, today. So in the sense in the last video, so that for that we require special tools. If your organization is still maintaining that, for them they can use the special tools, and with the help of the special tools, you can of course recover data. More than that, the concentration should come down. It is hard disk. So if the hard disk circuit is damaged, then it will be replaced and data will be recovered. This procedure is easy, but if data lost from disk track, then it becomes harder to recover. That means from the disk, I had one old desktop computer which was not switched on for a long time. So eventually the hard disk became, what they call crashed, or it was not in use for a long time. So that's how I couldn't recover the data. So that was one lesson I learned, that in any electronic item you have to keep switching on in between. Okay, so if the files are removed due to the command given mistakenly or formatted mistakenly and no data, then of course recovering is quite easy. For that only, just which I said, you have a process of recover data. Okay, no. Now maybe there are other options also, as I told. Now comes the next one, that is our, of course here it is shown only pen drive, but you have your CD and DVD and all. But one thing is that if scratch is there in the CD and DVD also, data recovery won't be that easy. So if you think it is damaged, you don't again do any kind of scratching. Just give it to the corresponding service persons who actually can recover with the help of certain tools we have. Okay, no. Now there are other options in a Windows. If you wanted to just, this is for your information, okay, right click on the icon on the desktop. If you want to recover it, choose open from the drop down menu. Then you can see select files to recover. You saw that. Then right click on the files you need, so it will be recovered. That is how you recover the things from the, even from our recycle bin also, correct? So you can recover like that in many ways, that you can identify by the help of our googling system, but that's not important for you here. If you want, you can do it. Okay, so if you just search, so many free data recovery software will be there, and you can just find out from one by one here. I'm just googling and just seeing it. For that you need, I don't think a lot is there. Yeah, 2 or 3 pro tip is given here, so you can try with pro tip also. So CD and DVD also can be done like the same way. Now comes the pen drive. Now pen drive also, it's got formatted, means you can actually recover it. But if it is having some virus attacks, of course, depending upon the intensity of the attack of the virus, it will be difficult to retrieve the data. So it's given here, the data are lost due to the file system corruption or accidentally deleted and not overwritten, then data recovery software can be used to recover the data. So basically what is it? We require a data recovery software. You have to just choose the correct one and use it. Before that, it's always we say prevention is better than cure. So don't try to put it into a situation where you need to recover it. Try to always keep a backup copy, either in your Google Drive, your cloud service options are there. So any options you can use. So that's regarding how to recover your data. Now comes the last section, that is your security issue. Now RAM is used to store sensitive, non-persistent information in a lot of cases. So by chance, if anybody want to tamper with RAM, you have to be very clear. So we say we have to encrypt the data, decode it. Understood, no? That means when my password is, or your password, when you type it in a text box, it will be always masked with a what your corresponding that asterisk symbol. It's actually encrypting, or it's actually covering your data from others to view, isn't it? So that way what you have programmed and kept can be encrypted, can be given a code to, so that only the people who know how to decrypt it can see. Sometimes it is possible to remove RAM and place it in another device to dump the content. That is what we just told. Now comes ROM, custom ROMs, depending upon our other ROMs we had, are open source, means they are freely available in the system, in the Google or in the internet. So they have all chances to steal data, but developers stick to their ethics and refrain from such practices. That means depending upon who has manufactured it, if you're purchasing from them, they have all options to steal the data which is stored in that, but they never do that. That is what they are saying. Even though ROM manufacturers can steal your data, they will never do, and they stick on to their ethics. Now comes our hard disk. Now hard disk is, once this one is infected with malware, then automatically nothing can be done. We require somebody who is much smarter than the people who have hijacked or who have attacked our hard drive to retrieve it. Now we have a lot of other options. Firmware, malware are there. From there we can actually retrieve the data with the help of the data recovery tool. So security is what we call to be considered as one issue when you actually store the data inside our these areas. That is why we say, instead of storing it in hard disk, you better store that in another backup device, say for example a pen drive, any such things. So with that we are concluding our computer memory sections. So this chapter, what did we learn? We started by discussing what was memory. Let me just pull the page up. The first section. what was memory units, see, kilobytes. Then we learned the different types of memory, cache, primary and secondary. Then we learned the advantages of cache, very important. Types of memory, underneath again we learned that main memory divided into RAM and ROM. Then we learned the static RAM and dynamic RAM differences. Then we learned different types of ROMs, EEPROM, okay, PROM, etc. Then we learn the types of secondary storage device, magnetic tape, hard disk, CD, your pen drive, etc. Then we came to the area where how you can store, or how the data is stored in your RAM and all those things. Now you know how it is, which technique and all is used. And then we said how we can delete, or delete it. Then we learn how we can recover it. This learning process is not in a full-fledged manner. It's only in a, what you call as, in a very small scale manner. You're just generalizing and learning it. That's because if anybody wanted to get an attempt towards learning in the future towards hardware or software, this is a stepping stone. So only that much is there for your syllabus. That means you just have to just step into that first ladder's case and then stand there and watch it. You are not going up towards the intricacies of computer memory, because we have a chapter called as Python to learn, where we discover how to program something and how to store it. So that is the main area of IP. So these chapters and all will be always reduced to the minimum level. And being a theory chapter, I know how boring it will be in the beginning of sessions and all. But I hope after viewing this video and watching this or reading the sentences, it is easy for you. So what I will do is, once I finish this, I will be sending this PDF file as such. I will just take down the notes, extra notes or extra points if it is required, that I will be sending as a Word file. So second chapter under that section is over. So thank you very much. Hope you are able to understand everything.